everybody, it's me, Margaret, and I'm sorry I've been kind of late, but I really haven't had a whole lot to show for Cast Off Crew. So I do have some things this time, and I'll start by showing you something that I don't have with me anymore, and that is the dreaded dog sweater. I started this dog sweater right around Christmas, and it was probably more difficult than anything I had attempted before. And so I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. Well, I joined Gimme Yarn's WIP, what is it called? Whip Along with Gimme Yarn. And I was motivated to stick with it, and I did. But it wasn't that easy. Okay, this is the dog sweater. And if I were to finish all the way around, this is the neck. And if I was to finish all the way around through here, I would end up being approximately 3 inches or so off on one side. And what I thought I was doing was purposely making it longer, but I didn't take into consideration how it has to wrap back around. So what I'm going to have to do, well, is rip and start over. So I think I'm going to have to rip all the way to my marker from here all the way down. But you know, that's how you learn. Now I finally did finish it, and here's the happy recipient. Bridget's new sweater.
Look at it, she's so cute.
It fits perfectly. Look at you.
She loves her sweater. Look, it is outlined in purple. We're very fashionable because it has some piping.
All right, put her down. Let's see her walk around in it.
And it's tight, so it doesn't move. Oh my gosh,
Bentley,
it's so cute.
Okay, well. Now this cowl is another thing that I made, but I made it too big. Because, you see, it's supposed to fold down where you can kind of, you know, well, I don't know how it's supposed to do, but I want to show the buttons, and it just doesn't want to show the buttons. But you know what? It's fine when it's like this, but it's already too warm to wear this where I live. So I've kind of exhausted my wintertime wear. But it was cute anyway. I like the way you did the ribbing on it. And then because it was bulky, I used 2 strands of, not Jiffy, Vanna White. And it just naturally, because of the way the weave is, you have buttonholes. You don't have to make your own buttonholes. So this was fun. So I liked that. And then I'm kind of thinking ahead to next service projects and mission projects that we're going to be doing at the church. And so I decided to make some character hats. Now this is supposed to be that little guy, one of the minions off Despicable Me, and I still need to make some things like this. But I don't like his mouth. Most of them have smaller mouths, and I did it like the pattern, and I just think he looks like a bug. But he's cute, and by the way, if we do send these off to, we work a lot with Rivers of the World, which goes down toward the equator, and they started by curing people of river blindness. And this is just, I mean, we're talking tribal here, okay? Well, they won't have any idea who the minions of Despicable Me are, but they will, you know, say, oh, look, a little bug hat, won't that be fun? And they do need hats for warmth. They're asking right now for hats that they take down for the kids. They've got lots of baby hats, but they really want the ones for ages 7 to 11. So I think that our church group, we did deliver the hats, by the way. We had 175, and they had a great time. We had enough hats. It was a little rough going there for a while. But they had such a good time shopping, so that was great success. So that was what all that was for. So now it's time to move on to something else. I also would like to have a stash of these, or character hats, ready for the fall, that I might could do as fundraisers, you know, for the therapeutic riding and the horses and the blind horse and the whole thing like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get a head start, because this year doing the fundraiser during Christmas didn't work out very well for me. I was very disorganized, so live and learn. Now again, thinking toward the fall, I've seen a lot of little pumpkin hats. You know, the hats that look like pumpkins that you wear. Lots of different ways to go about doing this, but I really did like this one. I thought it was pretty versatile. I loved the little vine, which was made with half double crochets. You do 3 in each chain, and it just naturally gives you this little curl. It's cute. And I loved this. This is supposed to look like the top, but I thought maybe adding a leaf or two might, maybe right over here, a leaf might be a good addition. I don't know, but you can make these easily in any size you need, because it's made flat. You start, I think it was half double crochet. No, it was double crochet. And you do 1 row of double crochet, then you do back loop only the whole way, the whole way around. And I think it was 32 rows for this size, which you can see I've got it on one of my heads that has not been altered, and it fits really well. So this is probably for a child, that 7 to 11 age that I was talking about earlier. But if you make a few more rows, you can get them a little bit bigger. Make less rows, and you can get smaller hats. And of course, your the fold means you don't have to worry about the length. So loved this little pattern. I thought that was really cute. Now I did do a couple more somethings, but I can't tell you because it was a surprise for somebody. So wait till they get that surprise and then I'll tell you about it. But I did use slippy slidey yarn and a bamboo hook, and I mean that combination was fantastic. And I also learned that those Susan Bates plastic hooks that I was saying, they're not plastic at all. They're Luxite. And I've since bought some other plastic hooks out of curiosity, and they are not the same. So if you think you don't like plastic, unless you try this Susan Bates Luxite, you haven't tried it yet. So that's all I got for now. And I have a change in my schedule and the way things are working throughout my week now. So Monday is a little tight for me, so I'm throwing this together at night, so the lighting is not all that great. So I apologize for that. But anyway, check out the other members of the Cast Off crew, and I'll see you next week. Bye.